Hello and welcome to another edition of the Unconventional Grower. It's Father's Day. It's a changeable day. It's been heavy rain and now we've got a bit of sunshine. So we're up at the allotment to give you a quick tour to see how things are getting on. Let's get to it. Looking up from the shed to the left hand side, we've got the peas starting to come on. We've got a couple there that's starting to fruit, so to speak. We could do with giving these a bit of a trimming back. These Swiss chard, the whites, the volunteers, because they've actually overtaken the peas somewhat. But never mind. Down here, we've got a good helping of strawberries coming along as we pan round into this bed here, the low netted bed. That's the brassicas, that's the predominantly sprouts, if I recall. Just panning round now, the asparagus is just finishing off. There's just another spear there poking out. We'll get that one. Now the ferns are starting to seed. If I just pan round here, these are some of the seeds that we saved from last year's asparagus and just manually sowed those. So they'll go into the ground. We need to get this bit here a bit of a good weeding. Again, the potatoes, the volunteer potatoes are coming through. This is not the bed really for those. We've transplanted some of those beans, if you recall from one of the other videos, that we thought might have had it. Well, we've managed to save 3 or 4 of those, and we've put them into the little bed as well. The walnut is starting to come along now. We need the weather to pick up somewhat because at the moment it's extremely wet. And back again where we started, a couple of trays, 3 trays of onions yet to go in. The broad beans are all now in various different places around the plot. And in this little bed we've got kale and beetroot. This bed needs a bit of an attention in between the leeks and the brassicas. And we've got some chard there that also needs planting out. That's still in the pots. Into the hoop house. This one of the original hoop houses that's left. We've got the courgettes now that's coming along. A bit of mildew on the leaves. Not something to be too concerned about, but I will actually just pull that one away like that. We've got the Cherry Falls variety of the tomatoes, and we've got a couple of the cucumbers as well that we've put in. I think that is a watermelon right there, and another bean there that has survived. It has survived, hurrah! In this bed we've got the sweet corn. This is not looking to be doing much. The sweet corn doesn't seem to be doing anything in any of the beds. Just skip back round to this. This is probably the best clump of sweet corn that we've got. Must be the damp conditions, I'm not sure. But we seem to have done better joy just keeping them in pots and getting them established. Anyway, in this bed we've got a couple of the peppers. Just can't quite get that in view. And again, a couple of the Cherry Falls tomatoes. And again, a number of cucumbers in that bed. Panning round into the salad bed. Here, we've got some peppers. Those are the peppers that we saw back at the house. It looks like the last couple of tomatoes are wilting away there, but we've got another cucumber there ready to go in. And here, something that I salvaged off the compost heap. This was a clove of garlic that I got chucked out in the kitchen scraps, and to my surprise it started sprouting. So we've got a good half a dozen or so plants there coming along quite nicely. The artichokes try to trip us up. A couple of the lettuce at the back, I'm not sure what they're going to do. I find it sometimes pointless growing lettuce. A couple more of the peppers, they were shop bought. The kid grower had put his hand in his pocket to pay for some of those. And at the back there, another cucumber that seems to be, well, not doing much. You tend to find that some will take to the new habitat quite nicely, and others will just sulk and die off. Climbing up the trellising, we've got 2 kiwis. They're doing all right. I thought they might cark at some point, but they've done all right. And this is the apricot tree. No sign of any fruit, no sign of blossom, but that's not to be worried about right now. Hopefully that will come in time. Another row of peas at the back, and then in front, off camera, we planted a number of runner beans. On this bed, as you can recall, we've got some beetroot coming along and some onions at the back, and those brassicas there that you can see are the Swedes. Now we're over here. In one of the earlier videos, you can recall us harvesting a parsnip or 2. Now this is one that was left in, and it's gone to seed, and what I'm going to do is let that continue to seed and then harvest the seed and see what we can get out for next time. A few other carrots, a couple of rows. These are the multicoloured carrots, golden nugget and purple sun, but the purple sun seems to be sporadic. Not quite sure what's happening there, but anyway, they're not doing too bad. In here, if you can multitask, we've got some radish growing in and amongst the brassicas. And again, as I just put down the hoop, yeah, more volunteer potatoes. The potatoes grow like weeds. Once you've got them planted, you've got to get everyone out, otherwise they're like this one here, another one in this brassica bed. I mean, that'll produce a decent harvest, it will. Weed popping through there, we can just get rid of that. But these are the potato beds, the dedicated potato beds. They can do what they want in there. Gooseberries and raspberries growing together in harmony at the back. And then down this side you can see the gooseberries have silly on this bush. We've got a couple here. No doubt the pesky birds will take those. Down this bit here we've got the mint in the peach tree that's, well, it's just clinging on, isn't it? It's just clinging on to survival. It's not doing out. It's not doing a thing. We'll give it another year, get it established, and we'll not give up. But that's on the list to get yeeted out if it doesn't peck its ideas up. Anyway, broad beans, sweet corn, and more volunteer potatoes coming up there. And more volunteer potatoes in this bed. It's and the other little brassicas. Broad beans down the side of the raised bed. Strawberries, as you can see, sending the runners out. These are the walk. They literally do walk across the allotment plot. It's amazing, really. These started out, kid you not, they started out over there by that yellow, there it is, by that yellow sprinkler. And somehow, over the last 3 or 4 years, they've managed to walk over here. And that's how it happens. Is they send these runners out. These runners, let's put the roots out there. Before you know it, they've walked a metre or 2. Again, we encourage that kind of thing on this plot. We're not gonna fight nature, are we? how it spreads from one thing to another, one place to another. In the cage, we've got the blueberries. That's the pink blueberries. Big difference now we've got the cage up because we've got so many berries on there. That's looking fantastic. Some of the asparagus that's gone to seed. That's not too bad. We'll let nature do its thing there. Let it go to seed. Strawberries down there looking good. And we've got the plum tree. If I can just get in there, there's a few plums on that. This is the honeyberry. This is around about the time of year you'll get, it's one of the first berries to come to harvest, come ready for harvest. I've not seen any on this time. Not to say there isn't any. You got to go looking for them. Really, this is the deathly gooseberry. That takes a swipe at every time you go past, with all these thorns, prickles. Now then, here's the kale from last year, and this is doing exactly what we want it to do. It's gone to seed. We'll try and harvest these seeds before they pop everywhere, because we don't want a load of kale around this bit of the allotment plot. So that'll provide us with our kale seeds for next year. Look at this again, volunteer potatoes going in the compost heap. Rhubarb that's starting to die off a little bit now. The apple falstaff. We've got over here now the thornless blackberry. It's really going strong. And then down here we have got a tayberry. Now, if you recall from a couple of videos ago, we planted some Japanese wineberries, but they've just had it. They've expired. So we've replaced those. And over here you can see the black currants starting to turn. There's one or two over here, a little bit there. Look at them. They're not doing too bad. The birds don't tend to do anything with the black currants. Don't know why. It's normally like the reds, the whites, or the gooseberries. Broad beans over here, and the pear tree. I can't see any on this time. Hopefully that's just trying to establish itself. We've not got anything in this box house yet. However, as I just bow to the fig, I would like to draw your attention to something quite upsetting. Now these sheets have started to rip. It's causing no end of grief. No end, I say. And for sleepless nights, wondering whether these sheets are going to blow off. And so on this, the first one, this entire sheet was almost off. So what I've done is I've just secured some timbers around the perimeter and through the middle. So something to note, these things are quite flimsy, and I do not want to be in a similar position with those as I am with these plastic sheets. As you can see, ripped to smithereens, and that's on the list to get converted. But if we're going to have some more problems with these plastic sheets, maybe another rethink is in order. But we'll see how they go. We've already got them. We've already got them in the shed, waiting to go on. We need another day like today. But look at them. Look at this one, hey? Just as I bow down to the strawberry, look at that one just turning. And these down here, this is the land cress. It's quite peppery, but look at that. Quite happy with that. It's a nice little discovery. Father's Day discovery. And that's more of the cress. And as you can see, these little pods are starting to form on the asparagus. So we're going to let nature do its course there. And drop its seed into the wood chip area. This here is the horseradish, and a couple of apples on this tree as well. Compost heap doing its thing. This is the compost heap where I've rescued the garlic from. And I think that more or less concludes the tour, really. Nothing much more to say in the matter. We could do with some more water in these box houses. They do get thirsty, so we could do with giving those a water. And a few bits and pieces to go in, but we're now in a bit of a lull period. We've got some wood chips over there we've been invited to help us self-tow. So that's we're going to get on with replenishing these areas here. We want to get a growing area, maybe something down the middle here. Just down there where I've just dragged my foot. Maybe something in the middle. Just an unofficial row of something down there, maybe. Maybe some onions, It seems that the onions in the top bed there need replacing, but these seem to be okay. Again, potatoes, volunteers. Anyway, we're going around in circles now. Shed needs a stain. Raspberries, volunteers, just going up, but look at that, we've got some fruit coming on those, so yeah, there we go. So that's the tour for today. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.